Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing from the DC Universe Classics Wave 5, Black Lightning. Take a look at this bad boy right here. Now, a little information about Black Lightning. Black Lightning's real name is Jefferson Pierce, and he grew up in, I believe, suicide slums, although I'm not quite sure about that. But he was an Olympic athlete, a very good athlete, so much that he won a gold medal. I guess he could be called the Kurt Angle or the Michael Phelps of the DC Universe. He was that good. Upon returning back to his hometown, he saw how crime-ridden it was and how absolutely disgusting and obscenely bad it was, and how the little man was getting hurt by this. So he decided to go and protect the little man and became Black Lightning. Now, Black Lightning's powers are originally used by using a belt. But, however, recently he has been able to internalize it and use his powers similar to a metahuman. And Black Lightning's whole entire gig was he would look after the small person. Well, Batman and Superman would obviously help the small people. They would also take on the big threats. Black Lightning didn't really deal with the big threats so much. He dealt with, helping the little person out. And Black Lightning had a pretty successful career as a superhero, until at one point I believe his powers caused someone to die. This caused Black Lightning to kind of go into seclusion for a bit. And then he was actually brought in and recruited by Batman to join the Outsiders, to help Batman on his mission to find Lucius Fox. And after that, he eventually became an Outsider. And he stayed with the Outsiders for quite a bit of time. He was kind of like the most grounded person on the Outsiders besides Batman. He kind of kept everyone grounded and level-headed when they would freak out or when they would get overly emotional. He was that kind of person. Black Lightning is a very intelligent and a very reasonably logical person. Eventually he got over the accident that caused the other people's deaths because of his powers, and he became a full-fledged member of the Outsiders. Eventually the Outsiders disbanded, and he became the Secretary of Education for Luthor's cabinet when Luthor became president. At least I think that was the official title that was given to him. It's been a while since I read President-elect, but I believe that's the official title. Now, although he was doing this for the sake of doing it to be, the Secretary of Education, he also did this because Batman planted him in there to keep an eye on Luthor. See, Black Lightning is probably one of Batman's most trusted associates. He's willing to do what's necessary for Batman. So he did that by staying in Luthor's cabinet and watching over Luthor, making sure he doesn't do anything shady, which, well, it's Luthor, so of course he's going to do stuff shady. After Luthor's presidency fell, the Infinite Crisis happened, and after the Infinite Crisis, he was elected to join the Justice League of America, which he stayed with the new Justice League of America for pretty much most of his tenure, up until Final Crisis, when he was taken over by the Anti-Life Equation. Of course, Final Crisis ended, the Anti-Life Equation was broken on him, and he rejoined the Outsiders after the wake of Batman's disappearance. He mostly joined the Outsiders because of his daughter. His daughter, Thunder, was an Outsider also after he became one, and because of her interactions with the Outsiders, she was put into a coma, so he really didn't have much left to fight for, but he wanted to fight for her, so he rejoined the Outsiders as kind of a second-in-command to Geoforce, but that's where Black Lightning currently is right now. So, onto powers and abilities. Black Lightning is a above average athlete. He's actually an Olympic level athlete. He always stays physically fit. He has the power to control and manipulate electricity. Now, originally, like I said, he used a belt to do this, but recently, and I don't remember how, I'm not going to lie, I forget, but he has the ability to internalize it and do it naturally. So he, for the lack of a better term, is a metahuman. Not originally, but now he is. And he can, use electricity offensively. He can manipulate it in different ways, throw balls of electricity or strains of electricity. He can cause force fields. So basically he has mastery over electricity, which is pretty cool. He also has above average hand-to-hand combat. He can hold his own into battle, although we haven't really seen him go into hand-to-hand combat too much, but he can hold his own. On the whole, Black Lightning is a really cool character. I mean, with the exception of Batman, he's my favorite Outsider. and he's definitely a figure I wanted to get, so I had to get him. I think he's a very underused character too. Really cool, really level-headed, just a very likable character. And so, onto the figure itself. Now, Black Lightning comes from the elusive Wave 5. Now, originally when DC Universe Classics started off, Mattel made Wave 5 a Walmart exclusive, which was probably a silly idea to do because it was incredibly hard to find the figures. They were poorly distributed, as with most of the waves for DC Universe Classics, and it was just impossible to get your hands on. So eventually you go online after the wave was distributed, and you find out the figures go for like $100 each. Eradicator goes for like $200 and something. It's ridiculous. Because of this, Matty Collector re-released the figures within the past, I think, 2 weeks, and now you can get the whole Wave 5 again. However, you need to act quick because these figures are already going up in price. Now, Wave 5 didn't look like the most impressive wave to me. However, it did have a few figures that I wanted, and most of all, I wanted Black Lightning. One, because I like Black Lightning. I think his costume's badass. I think he's badass. I like his powers. Fire is my favorite element, but electricity comes in second, and it's just really cool how he uses it. And two is because I want to have the Outsiders in my Batman collection. We have Metamorpho right now, Rex Manson. So, got Black Lightning. Now we need the rest: Katana, Geoforce, and Halo. So I wanted him for that. But just overall, I wanted this figure badly. I also want Eradicator and Riddler, but I'm holding off on them. So anyways, the figure itself. Black Lightning's body is the same body mold that was used for Nightwing, even coming down to the hands being able to use the Extremis stick. The Nightwing body has been used multiple times for like Blue Beetle and other such figures, and they used it again for Black Lightning, which is a slimmer but muscular body type. He comes with no accessories at all. He has the standard articulation of the DC Universe Classic figures, as all figures really usually have. So he has pretty good articulation. They decided to stray away from the classic look for Black Lightning and instead go for his more modern, updated look. Usually DC Universe Classic tends to go for the Silver Age / Bronze Age look for their figures, but there are a few exceptions like Nightwing, Robin, Black Lightning, Riddler, where they do the more updated version of their costume. So, obviously we have the more modernized updated version. I think it's 4th costume. Yeah, I think it's his 4th, and it's my favorite of his costumes. I just think it looks really badass. Really badass. Now, I've heard a lot of complaints about people saying that the paint work has been blotchy, and the paint on a whole has been blotchy for the figure. And I'm surprised to say, and I'm happy to say, that my figure, for the most part, has good paint work. On the back, there's a little bit of blotchiness. You really can't see that because my camera sucks makeup balls, but there is a little bit of blotchiness. But it's very, very light that you really won't notice it. It's not like you're going to look at the back of the figures for the whole time. Display all your figures and then have Black Lightning face backwards. No, you're going to have this guy facing forward because he's that badass. On a whole, the color scheme looks great for him. The figure is nicely done up. The face is nicely done. Unfortunately, he doesn't have translucent lens, but his mask is so small that you probably couldn't pull that off. And I'm actually kind of happy that they didn't, because the translucent lens has been successful for some figures like Catwoman, Booster Gold, but for others it just looks weird like Blue Beetle. On a whole, this figure, it would have been nice to have some accessories. He doesn't use accessories. It's like Superman going out with like a sword. It's not necessary, but it would have been cool to have like some electricity coming out or something like that. However, it's just probably the only bad point of the figure. The figure is nicely done. It looks good. I really, really like how this figure looks. I'm not going to lie. I'm not trying to fanboy it because I'm a Black Lightning fan. I know a lot of people get figures of their favorite characters and they just go on and on about how cool the figure is. It's probably not as cool as they really think it is, but I really do think this is a cool figure. It just encompasses Black Lightning very nicely. Now, whether or not you should pick this up. Well, if you're going to pick this up, you're going to pick it up because you're a Black Lightning fan like I am. If you're not a Black Lightning fan, I mean, you're not going to get this for cheap. It's going to be about $30 online, which is kind of much. And, I mean, the only other way you're going to get it is if you find it in store next to the Holy Grail and the Lost City of Atlantis, along with my high school yearbook. It's impossible to find in the store. The time has gone and passed, so you're not going to get this for normal retail value. So, do I recommend it if you're not a Black Lightning fan? Probably not. It's not worth going out your way for. However, if you are a Black Lightning fan like me, and you need to have a figure, you can get this one. I think it's the best of the figures Mattel has released. They also released the Public Enemy one, which I wanted to get, but I forgot to pick it up. But if you're going to get this, I recommend getting it now, because all the figures that are being re-released for Wave 5 are going up in price real quickly. One day I saw Eradicate go for $30, and now he's up to $60 like a day later. So if you do get him, I recommend getting him quickly. He's for Black Lightning fans or fans of The Outsiders. But if you're not a fan of The Outsiders or Black Lightning, you probably want to save your money and get some other stuff. But on the whole, I am satisfied with this figure. I'm happy I get it. The next question everyone's going to ask is this: Andrew, are you going to get the rest of Wave 5? My answer is this: I want to. Money's tight, so it depends on money. The next figure I want to get is Eradicator, but the next one I'm probably going to get is Riddler. Because Eradicator is $60, and I'm not going to pay that much for a figure. No way. So yeah, anyway, Black Lightning, cool figure, cool character, really enjoyed him. I'm satisfied. If you like Black Lightning and you want to get him now. If you're not a fan of Black Lightning, you might want to hold off on him. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.